Today's video is about redefining fear. So if you have something that's continually coming up for you, maybe it's a fear of public speaking, maybe it's a fear of getting your business started, maybe it's a fear of changing jobs, maybe it's a fear of not enough money. If you have something like this going on, perhaps this video can support where you are right now. Now, you may recall the last video that I posted. It was about a tool for creating happiness. Well, this video, this tool is going to take that another step farther. So let's say that you've got something coming up. Maybe you're meant to speak in front of a large audience, give a presentation at work. Maybe you have a court date coming up. You're going through a divorce and you want everything to go your way. Maybe you have a bill to pay and you're not sure how you're going to make it happen. Maybe you have a health concern and every time you think about it, you get that visceral fear inside of you. Well, this is your opportunity to redefine the fear. First of all, you have to be committed to paying attention. Because what happens most of the time when we feel fear? When we feel fear, we want to ignore it. We want to do something like, oh, I don't want to think about this. So maybe we go running or, over-exercise or grab something to drink or overeat or mindless TV. These are things we do because we don't want to feel the fear. It probably makes perfect sense. Like, why would I want to feel that? But really, fear is an indicator that there's something going on in your mind. It's like, something knocking at the back door of your mind there going, hey, this is coming up, but you keep shoving me away. Do you want to pay attention to this or not? Because I'm just going to keep coming back and reminding you. So instead of ignoring it, instead of trying to medicate it away or drink it away or retail therapy it away, own it. Say, all right, this keeps coming up. What the heck is? Because remember, we cannot heal what we refuse to feel. So you want to feel into it. Allow yourself to say, all right, I'm acknowledging you. What's going on? Now, last week's tool on creating happiness, that was a way for you to get out of those moments when maybe you just can't think straight. You're feeling like, all right, this is happening and I don't know what to do. It's a tool to reach for to create happiness. This tool for redefining your fear is about those times when you feel that fear inside of you and you say, oh my gosh, okay, here it comes again. Yeah, I'm thinking about that upcoming presentation. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about all those people that are going to be sitting in front of me, and I'm going to be standing in front of the room, and all eyes are going to be on me, and you just feel that fear rocking and rolling inside of you, and you just don't know what to do about it, and you're like, maybe I should just cancel. I don't want to do that. Or maybe, as I mentioned, you have going through a divorce and you want the best outcome, but every day something comes up reminding you that you're still going through it, that you're still not sure how it's all going to turn out. What are you going to do? And all of the what ifs and shoulds are coming up for you. And you feel that fear rocking and rolling inside of you. Same with a health challenge. You want to visualize the best possible outcome. You want to visualize your healed self. But when that fear comes in, what it's actually telling you is you are not allowing yourself to visualize the most positive outcome. Instead, what you're doing is giving into that feeling of fear. So when that's happening for you, redefine the fear. Let's say it's a money challenge. Let's say it's a money fear. Perhaps you have a bill coming up and you keep rehashing it in your mind. You keep going over and over. And every time that comes up, you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's reminding me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to pay that. I don't know what I'm going to do. So that emotion is grabbing a hold of you. And it's reminding you, right? Reminding you. It's coming up in your mind again and again and again. And you're like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So if you redefine the fear, when you feel that emotion coming in, you give it a new name. Instead of defining it, giving it a name of not enough money, or I don't know how I'm going to pay this bill, or I don't know how this court date's going to come up, redefine it. So in the case of money, you say, every time you feel it, you're like, oh, there's that feeling. Money must be coming in for me. Maybe it's a court date and you feel like, oh, there's that feeling. That must mean the court date's coming out in my favor. Or, oh, there's that feeling. That must mean my health is coming out the way exactly that I want to feel. Healthy, vibrant, loving life. You see, we create in our minds. We think things and then we dwell on them and then we give it that emotion or that feeling, which supercharges it. And when we supercharge it, now we give it so much energy, attention, and focus that we create. This is how we create. We send energy to it. That energy turns into something. When you think about it, circumstances don't matter. So the circumstance being maybe the court date, the circumstance being your current health situation, your current financial situation. Those are circumstances, but circumstances don't matter. State of being matters. So if you are giving in to that fear that's coming through and you're defining it as doom and gloom, this is turning out in the worst case scenario. Now you are creating from a negative state of being. Now, when you pivot and you change your state of being, you go from something negative to positive, and you start concentrating on, oh, this is how I want to feel. Yes, I want to feel so much better. And in the last video, I talked about a tool for creating happiness. When you are feeling really fearful, you'll want to start with the tool for creating happiness, because that's a pivot tool. That's something you can use in the moment when something is really grabbing a hold of you and you need to change from negative to positive. It's not so easy when you've allowed the fear to take over and it's really permeating all senses of you, and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I just feel this all over me. It's just washing all over me. That's not the time to try to redefine the fear. That's the time to pivot from the fear, from the negative feeling to the positive feeling. So the tool for creating happiness will support you there. This tool for redefining fear can take you to the next level. So did you know that you only need to hold on to a better feeling thought for 16 seconds to start shifting your vibrational frequency? Why is that important? Well, because at any given moment, your state of being is dependent on your vibrational frequency. What is a vibrational frequency? It's basically how you're feeling. How are you feeling in any given moment? If you just stop right now and say, how am I feeling? Well, I'm feeling happy, or I'm feeling okay, not happy, not sad, or oh, I'm feeling really fearful. Something's really grabbing a hold of me. It's important to know where you are. And as with any of these tools, you must commit to being aware of how you're feeling, paying attention to what you're thinking and feeling. But what happens when most of us feel that gut-wrenching fear that grabs a hold of us? We don't want to hold on to that. It seems like the natural knee-jerk reaction would be to get rid of it, not feel it. So maybe we have something to drink, over-medicate, maybe we go for a run, maybe we eat something, retail therapy, something to take our mind off of what we're feeling. But you're actually doing yourself a disservice when you do that, because you're not allowing yourself to feel the emotion, in this case fear, and let it tell you the message that it's giving you. The message that I just used in this example could be, hey, you're feeling fear about that upcoming presentation. you're doubting yourself, you're believing that you're not going to do well, or that you don't have what it takes, or whatever those beliefs that you're feeding into. So the emotion is actually an indicator. It's letting you know. It's like a sign. Like the good fairy coming around going, hey, do you want to know about this? Do you want to know how you're sabotaging yourself? But if you ignore it, then it's like you're telling the good fairy, no, go away. I don't want anything that could support me right now. This is when the opportunity to pay attention to the fear can really support you, can help you. And the thing is that when you are holding on to that fear, when you feel it and you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, what definition are you giving it? Now, this is how we redefine it. Let's say that you have a bill coming up and you don't know how you're going to pay it. You're like, oh my gosh. And every time that fear about the bill, comes up inside of you, it reminds you, oh, I have a bill coming up and I don't know how I'm going to pay it. So what you've actually done is you've given that feeling of fear a definition of, I don't know how I'm going to pay that bill. So this tool can help you redefine that. When you feel that fear, instead of defining it as, oh, I don't know how I'm going to pay that, as soon as you start to feel that familiar feeling of fear, stop and say, oh, there's that feeling. That must mean money's coming in. Whoa, that must mean that my income is increasing. Whoa, that must mean this bill is going to be really easy to pay. Remember how I said you only need to hold on to a better feeling thought for 16 seconds for your energy to start shifting, that vibrational frequency to start shifting? So now recreate the story. Once you pivot from negative to positive so that you're starting to feel happier, you hold on to that. And if the feeling comes in and you say, oh, there's that feeling. Oh, that must mean money's coming in. Oh, that must mean the bill is going to be really easy to pay. Oh my gosh, that's going to be feels so good to get that off my plate and just behind me. You see, now you're starting to recreate the story because you're redefining the emotion. Instead of giving that emotion fear, you're allowing it to say, oh, okay, I saw the trigger, I felt the trigger, I chose to redefine it, and now I'm actually feeling pretty good. Remember, everything happens in the mind. Everything happens inward before it manifests outward. Everything happens in the mind, and what you think about, you bring about. Everything is energy. So when you are allowing a fear to take root, to take hold, to define how your state of being is in this moment, you're actually allowing an experience to define your state of being instead of your state of being to define the experience. So try this tool, try this exercise, try this practice. Remember, don't say this is a one-off thing. You must commit to this because you must change how you view things. You must take ownership of the feelings and emotions that are coming into you. Now, of course, if this emotion is feeding into a negative belief, a fear-based belief, something that you're still holding on to from childhood, something that keeps triggering you over and over, there may be deeper work for you to do. But if these are one-off triggers that are happening where you're feeling this fear and it's overcoming you and washing over you and reaching in and grabbing you by the gut going, oh, there it is again, you do have the power to shift this. And as you get in the habit of doing this, meaning you're creating a new habit, instead of falling into that habit of fear and going down that negative rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? The world is ending. You're changing that habit to, oh, I feel this. Yeah, okay. I see that you want to define it as X, but we are going to define this as Y. And then hold on to it. And then create the story from Y. The positive. Y being the positive. Oh, yes, I see. This must mean money's coming in. This must mean I'm going to have some fun. This must mean I'm going to pay that bill and have so much left over that I am going to party like purple. This must mean that court date is going my way. I can see it now. The paperwork is almost done and over. I'm going to put it behind me. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to go to that next part of my journey now that the court date is all behind me. Or this must mean that my health is improving. Everything is turning around. Life is wonderful. I'm going to be singing and dancing and loving my life and partying like purple. Remember, you create the story. And you define every feeling and emotion. So if you have a fear that's grabbing hold of you and creating something you don't want in your mind, because that's where it's starting first, you have the power to shift your thinking, to pivot from negative to positive, and then take that story and create it into something that you desire, something you want to feel, something you want to enjoy, and the way you want your life to go. Let me know what you think about this tool. Leave some comments, because you never know who's watching this. Your comments might make all the difference to someone. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. And if you want any more free resources to support you on this type of journey, because what is this all about? It's reinventing yourself, right? Right. You're reinventing how you react to things. Instead of reacting, you're acting. You're taking control. So if you want support on any of this, visit me at masteringyourbeliefs.com. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller, the one and only Life Sensei, saying ciao for now.